What's good, y'all? We back again with a second episode of We Can Go Far, and we're here again to talk about how we can go far.
That's right.
So cool. So today we have two very special guests. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know
All right.
what's
Well,
good.
Julian Davis, what to say about myself, 20 years old, go to Georgia State University. And yeah, it's a little bit about me. What you, man?
I'm Eddy. I'm 19 years old. I'm originally from Nigeria. I go to Georgia State, and that's a little bit about me.
Dope. And y'all already know what it is. It's Chris Chandler. I'm the founder and owner of We Can Go Far. And yeah, we here. All right, so our whole brand is We Can Go Far, and our mission is to pretty much help people identify what going far means to them and what that looks like.
For sure.
And we also have our acronym for FAR, which is Foundation, Awareness, and Resilience. So we like to do content pieces around those three key aspects. And so that's what we're going to be breaking down today. And super chill, super informal, so feel free to just kick it.
Shit,
really.
we gonna say whatever.
Not a lot.
All right, so the first question, of course, is very, it sounds very simple, but I think it gets to a bigger message and a bigger vision for some people. But what does going far mean to you? And either one of you can start.
All right, well, I guess I'll lead this off.
All right.
What's going far mean to me? Honestly, I think a lot of people look at the fame aspect or the money aspect. I don't even really see that. I mean, as long as we get to produce our content, be stable, do what we love to do, and people enjoy what we're putting out, that's far enough for me.
Word.
I can feel that, like, just piggybacking off of what you said, like, I know nowadays everybody's really, surrounding themselves with the quick fix. They're always trying to get success really quickly without really, like, laying down their own foundation.
Right.
And, like, seeing where what they have right now can take them. They're always looking for the quickest way to get what other people have.
Right.
To me, going far is just like, grounding yourself in what you are and what you can do, and then using your basis to raise yourself to a different height. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The further you can go like that, it just makes everything that happens after that just so much more, meaningful to the whole, just the whole experience as a whole,
Word.
Yeah,
I fuck with that. That's same thing for me. Like, I like what you said too about like creating the content and just being stable. Like, my version of going far is just being able to get up and create every day. Like, I like doing music. I produce, rap, engineer, and then I like doing this too. I like making film content. So,
As long as you can do what you want to do, man.
yeah, man, that's what it's all about. All right, word. That was good. All right, so this next question. To get a little more specific, what is your vision of going far in life? Like, what does that look like, in terms of your future and everything?
All right, well, I'll break it down. We didn't really explain this in the beginning, but we have a video game company called Trigger Surge Games.
Super dope.
And we started that, officially started about 2 years ago, but it's been in the works for about 6 years, honestly.
Since ninth grade.
Yeah,
high
it's
school.
that's
been
dope.
a while.
That's dope.
And honestly, really, making video games is something we love to do, but we want to expand beyond that. We want to go further and really have so many outlets in media.
Yeah.
Shows, stories,
novels.
comics, novels, games, all that stuff. And that's why we have our web novel, and we have a big game project we're working on.
Yeah.
And then eventually expanding into comics, and then hopefully making those series into shows, and really, spreading our ability to create and allow people to see our content in all forms of media, kind of master painting on a different canvas in every kind of way. So that's really our way of going further.
Exactly. Just a little bit more on that, like, growing up, we both had the same kind of like issue where you being told that there's so much you can do, but you didn't really know where you can hone in on or where like that's gonna lead you. A lot of people grow up nowadays being like, the sky's the limit, but it's really scary because you look at the sky and it's so vast, you don't know where you want to land.
Exactly. Whoa, yo, that's deep. I've never
it's a
heard
fact.
that. That's a fact.
It's just how it is. And you got people telling you can do this, you can do that.
Yeah.
And especially the way that the system is like kind of pushing people, they're looking more for what's going to benefit them more monetary. And like they're like, oh, choose this job because it's going to earn you big funds in the future and all that stuff. But I feel like we both really found a ground in where we decided that what we want more is not just to like be successful, because everyone wants to be successful.
Right.
Yeah.
But we want to be that source where people can look at and become inspired from. You know, you want people to like read and like listen to our content and watch our content and play through our content and be like, wow, these people really crafted these things by themselves. You know, this is something that they put their mind and work into.
Yeah.
And you know, one of my biggest things, I got inspired, and that's why I'm glad that I'm in this situation now where we're working towards a goal like this. And I just want to pass that on to like future generations where they can
for sure
call back to like, oh, this right here is what inspired me to do this, you know, stuff like that. And that to me is what really going far is.
Word, that's super dope. And y'all, I'm not sure if I missed it earlier, but y'all said y'all grew up together, or how long have y'all known each other?
We knew each other
sixth grade.
Yeah. We met in sixth grade. Became friends ever since.
This is my homie right here. It's my brother.
That's what's up, man. I could see the connection. I got one of my homies. Matter of fact, the song we were just talking about that recently got released. We've been friends since like second grade,
bro.
So it's
that
bond.
That bond runs deep, though,
and it's like it ain't even.
Family, bro. That's not
it's family. It's not
more.
even no best friends. So that's like damn near blood. So I feel that. I feel that. That's what's up. And the fact that y'all doing that, man, like two minds is always better than one. And so I already know the type of conversations y'all probably be having are just like out of this world.
It's like it's one of those situations where like we really all started back in ninth grade when I realized when Julian came to me, he read one of my stories. He was like, "Yo, this is great, and we could turn this into something bigger than this."
Yeah.
And you know, up until that point, I wasn't really thinking. It was something I just did for fun. You know, like I felt like I was a creative individual, but I didn't think that's where I wanted to go in life. You know, I was like, okay, I could go to the more like scientific side of things, or like I could go to the more engineering side of things.
Yeah.
But like that one little push, like really just sent me to that direction where I'm like, wow, I can actually make this into something.
And for
bigger.
sure, taking like kind of building off of that. I used to remember, you know, he'd have all these ideas, all these stories. You know, could draw amazing. You know, had all this talent. And I'm telling you, man, I used to get pissed. I used to get mad. I'm like, wow, he can really do all this. You know, I'm always been that type of person where I'm looking for, you know, something that can be made more out of something. You know, I always try to make the most out of anything that I'm given. And, you know, so I'm seeing his talent, you know, and, you know, we've been close friends, you know, we were friends for a while. I'm like, I really want to see this talent be taken to the next level.
Gotcha.
And, you know, so, yeah, that's why I always kind of was there, you know, to, like, push him, you know. And, I mean, it took a couple of tries until, you know, one day it finally got the message through, and he was kind of on board, like, yeah, you're right, you know.
Yeah, I feel that, man. Like, it's great to see how, like different dynamics of a person can, like, work or benefit each other. Like it's mutual. Like me and my best friend, like my brother, I feel like growing up there were things that I just weren't as confident in as he was. And like I would be like the one who's like laid back and like, I don't think we should do that, man. I don't know. And he was like, nah, bro, we here. Like we doing this. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, we here. Like same thing with like the music and like a whole bunch of other stuff. There's just certain things that like our energies complement each other. And you know, having somebody to be able to like not only replicate that energy, but like just be able to bounce that off of. They say surround yourself by people who are like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have that, like you can elevate and understand that lingo, that language, and like really elevate. But there's other people who you be around who just like you say something to them and they like, yeah, that's cool.
That's chill. That's chill.
True, bro. That would be cool.
And then ain't nothing
happens. Yeah, man.
Like, dry textures out of your life. I'm telling you.
But it's true. I mean, honestly, surround yourself with like-minded people, which is a great thing. But honestly, really what you want to look for is a person that complements what you lack. You know? Like, for him, he was super creative, had all this talent, but he saw it for fun. He didn't really have the initiative to go ahead and push it to make it something bigger. I had the initiative to bring it, but he also had more of the creative talent than I ever have. You know?
I feel that, man. That's dope, man. And that's dope that y'all can recognize the differences in like y'all skill set and see how that works together, because the puzzle pieces they look different, but when they come together, it makes one vision. So
let me tell you, like I'm the creative dude. Like I write the stories, I make the plot lines, I do all that stuff. This man right here kill it in the business side. I be looking at him like
crazy. That's what's up, man.
He said we got all the paperwork. I was like, the what? I was like, yo,
hey man, but you know it's all about. I mean, really, you know, I knew someone had to take it up, and I've always was interested in business, you know. So I mean, paperwork, you know, that's just it's just taxing, but you know, you got to get it done. But really, you know, I'm always sitting there, I'm planning, I'm making a new plan. You know, I've come to him, I call him, I'd be like, yo man, how about we do this, this, and this? You know, if I'm starting to realize, okay, hold on, this may not work, you know, we go back, dial it back, kind of rework the plan. And I mean, that's kind of how we bring ourselves to the point that we are now, you know.
And I really like sit there with our little group that we formed, because it's like we build off of each other really like, it's kind of like swimmingly, because he will say something and then I'll be like, wait, I like that idea, but how about we like, with that we do this, and he's like, whoa, with that we do this.
It just
and
builds,
yeah.
Soon enough, we have a masterpiece, and we're like, that's it right there.
Yeah, man.
Those are like the moments to
That's
live
the
for, really, man. That's what's up. I guess my next question would be, you know, we talked about those three key aspects of our brand, you know, foundation, awareness, and resilience, and trying to get people to identify those both for their past and their like present situation.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe thinking forward for the future too. But I'd like to ask you guys, like, what does foundation mean to you, and like, what does that look like? What has that looked like over the past few years for you? Like, what resources did you have access to, like in high school or when y'all were getting this thing started? You know.
You want to lead this one off?
I can lead it off. When I think of foundation, I immediately like just jump to your upbringing. You know.
Yeah.
We were both very fortunate enough to be brought up in really loving families that were really supportive of everything that we put our mind to.
For sure.
And you know, that really helped us along a lot, because you know, when you have that when you have that support circle that's in there, like, okay, we want you to succeed, we want you to do that, but we also want you to be happy, and we want you to chase your dreams, we want you to see where you can go. It leads you really far. But along with that, we also, like, way back, starting even in 6th grade, we started surrounding ourselves with people, with our group of friends. You know, I like calling them, you know, my 5 fingers, because, you know, that's what my dad calls his 5 best friends, you know.
Yeah.
We all part of the same hand, but we all different branches, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that group has persisted until, like, now we can hit those people up anytime, and we tell them our ideas, we tell them how we're moving in life, we check up on them. Having that support circle is a really good foundation.
Yeah.
Along with that, you know, our own various like beliefs and, you know, viewpoints on the world. As we were saying, like, you have your friend that like is close to them, like it's blood at this point, stuff like that.
Sure.
Just having those things around us is just the foundation of it. And you know, from the foundation, that's where you can start growing from things. I don't know if you want to piggyback any of that.
I mean, I like all your points. No, I mean, honestly, I think everything what you're saying of upbringing is absolutely right. And I'm going to kind of answer it more from our business side, you know, kind of how all of those things that came in our life kind of translates into our business and our brand.
Yeah.
I would say the foundation of our brand, you know, it always came from make a better creation, make a good creation. You know, we got upset that a game wasn't to our standards. And that's what drove us to be like, you know what, I bet we can do our own and make it better than them. And so we kind of led with that foundation. And I remember one night I was on the phone with Eddy, and I was originally in our game project, I was trying to focus on how to make it trend, how to make it, you know, blow up, how to make it viral, you know.
Yeah.
And then I stopped and I kind of dialed it back because I didn't like the product it was becoming, you know, because of that mindset.
Yeah.
And I called him and I was like, you know what, scrap all of that. What we're going to do is stick to one belief that I think is always true, where we make a good product, we make a good game,
Exactly.
we make a good story, you know, it will succeed. It will prevail past things that will just blow up for the moment. We're going to have a lasting effect because there's going to be other people that were like us, where we were like, wow, I remember that story. I remember that game inspiring me to go out and do something on my own or do something greater, you know. And so the foundation and just what we believe as a product, what we believe to put out, you know, and the messages we want to share with our stories, I think really builds a successful brand, you know. It may not shoot up the fastest, but
It's gonna get there.
once we get there, we're gonna have a resilient group, a resilient set of people that share our mindsets, and shit, nothing stronger than that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it even like permeated itself into our own motto. You know, our own motto for our company is, let's make something great. Like, because we wanted that to be the foundation of our story. Like, okay, amazing game mechanics are cool, But you know, after the magic is worn off, then you've played the game already.
Right.
You know, great effects on a movie are amazing, but like when you rip that away, what is the movie? What is the meat behind it? We just wanted that thing, like no matter what you strip away from what we create, there's still gonna be that base level of this is something great. It's something that you can look at and you're like, I can identify with this character because of this. I can identify with this story because of this. I can see myself in this situation because of this.
Yeah.
And along with that, it's like it became that foundation and that like mindset of just let's make something great made its way into each one of our products, because like when you go through the story of them, that's what they're striving for. They're striving to become better people, better their world, better their situation, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like I said, once you build that foundation, once it's sturdy, shit, you can stack as high as you want. That's the building's not coming down.
Yeah.
I was built on rocks, you know what I'm saying? I was built on rocks.
Dang, I fuck with that, man. And like the way y'all working and like, you know, just talking about how, you know, working on the foundation and, you know, the slow grind versus like trying to just blow up.
Yeah.
Like that's just like these artists who blow up. They blow up and it's like where they
They
at after
fizzle
that?
out.
Yeah. So I feel that working for that longevity is definitely the game, man.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's dope. When we talk about awareness, you know, there's so many things you could bring into conversation with that topic. We talk about like self-awareness, you know, just knowing yourself, knowing your story, your upbringing and everything, and understanding the obstacles you face.
Yeah.
And then also like understanding like what things you need to be aware of in terms of like the field you're going into and like the business that you're going into. So what things would you like to share with us on, you know, what things you had to be aware of going into this, and like what things you are aware of now as you've made this journey?
As Julian said, we got mad at a video game for not being good enough to our standards. Honestly, it was
what game was it?
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about
Y'all would get to know I did.
Just know, just like a patch note hit, our characters were slashed in half, and we were like,
We
bro,
were pissed.
we were mad. We were yelling on a bus.
I'm sorry for the people
8
trying to
a.m.
sleep.
No words, like. And we were like, yo, we can make a better game than this. We got this, you know?
I was confident as hell, man.
This is 9 a.m. ninth graders on a bus. We
14 years old.
We don't even have breakfast in our system yet.
Yo.
Like, the one thing that we learned, we became really aware of is that making a game is hard.
We ain't what the fuck we was doing.
We didn't know what we were doing. We know what we were getting ourselves into. But continue on. I'm sorry.
No. But, you know, kind of to tag off of that, no, making a game, it's really hard, you know? And I mean, just that awareness of knowing, you know, what you're getting yourself into. But I mean, honestly, there's always that start where you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So you start hitting the road.
Yeah.
But really all that matters is once you hit it, you know, are you going to keep going, you know?
Exactly.
I didn't know how to program. And in high school, I spent that entire time teaching myself how to program, trying to make games the entire time. And now I'm at that point where I'm programming the games. I'm doing all of that work.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And that's because I saw it and I was like, damn,
You got to.
that shit's hard.
Yeah,
you know?
that's hard.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I went and did it anyways, you know?
Yo, that's what's up.
You know, kind of talking about that awareness. I'm gonna take this more on the business side again, because I feel like this is important for any business or any brand, anyone's trying to start. You know, never rush into like getting money, you know, stuff like that. Because one of the things we did that I feel was so smart by us, we never took any loans.
Yeah.
You know, we built this measly amount of money we could do, you know, created what we had to create to be able to get to the point where we're at, where we have a playable version of our game, to where, you know, we're ready to start pitching to publishers, you know, and get to where we're going, you know, and build all the art and everything around us, you know. But if we had loans, you know, we got to worry about paying that back, and now you're stressing, and the things are on a rush timeline. You know, you can't.
College too.
Yeah, you're in college. You can't let that process really just go out. You have to rush it because you're like, I got to pay back what I accumulated.
Exactly.
You know, so I would definitely say for a lot of people out there, don't rush, you know, into trying to build that money. You know, going and getting loans, because a lot of people make that mistake. And why a lot of businesses fail is because they owed money. Well, if you never set yourself up to owe money, even when you're struggling, you don't owe money, so you can keep going.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
But on the more like personal side of awareness, you know, the more like internal emotional stuff, when you gotta be aware of like who you are as a person when you go into an industry like this. Because one thing that we try to like put forth is we don't like the whole the societal trend of like sugarcoating and like beating around the bush that is being permeated into media now. We're really straight up with our stories. Like, even the new web novel that we just released yesterday or today.
Well, it just dropped today.
It just dropped today, but
I think I saw that actually.
Yeah.
But we had put all the tags, like, you gotta understand there's gonna be profane language, there's gonna be more rancy scenes and stuff like that, because what we're trying to do is like to make a really great product, you got to be aware of, there's going to be people that are going to take offense to this, but you have to have that own cognitive awareness to be like, but this is the story I'm trying to tell.
Gotcha.
Along with that, you have to be aware with like who you are as a person and like how that influences how you write. How I'm going to write something from my perspective, me being an immigrant, me having to go through that, kind of assimilating into American culture thing, while also like keeping my ties to where I'm from. How I write stuff is going to be completely different from someone who was homegrown, born in Atlanta, they've been here their whole life, and all that stuff. And also with that, you have to be aware of the influences around you. That's calling back to when you have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Like, there are times that it was stacking up, and we were sitting there like, whoa, we're just not at that level yet. And it was times where we could have quit,
so many times,
like have no money, no leads. We're just sitting here, twiddling our fingers, just twiddling our fingers, not knowing where to go from here. But just because we had that awareness of, no, this is what we want. We know that is, and with our supportive group, we were able to push past those things and keep it pushing. And and now we're at the point where we are, where things are starting to kick into high gear. Things are moving. The gears are turning. And it's going to be a snowball effect after now.
Yeah. That's what's up, yo.
For sure, man.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it. People only see like the tip of the iceberg when they see your success. So we definitely gonna get into resiliency, and that's being resilient is that's the other focus of our brand, is like highlighting. Just having the mindset to be resilient, and also how have you been resilient? Like, I feel like we go through a lot of stuff and never really acknowledge some of the stuff we actually have overcome already. You know what I'm saying? To understand that, like, in this present moment, that we do belong here. Like, we're actually like what y'all doing right now, the fact that we even sitting right here on this show, the grind that they didn't see is paid off. You know what I'm saying? So I guess my next question would be, how have you been resilient up until this point in y'all lives?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's a lot that I could, kind of comment on how we've been resilient. I mean, first of all, coming up with an idea in 9th grade, we went straight to engineering. We took out a notebook, started writing down ideas. I mean, and when I said we wrote out inputs, we wrote out world concepts, story,
status
everything.
effects.
Like, we went into detail. And when you realize you had this notebook here, and then there's nothing more you can do with it because you don't got the skills at that point. I mean, this resilience alone to just keep being like, you know what? We're going to keep pushing. And even when we realized we couldn't complete a project, we went back, made a new project, said this may be more manageable, and we went for that. And, plans kept changing, but we didn't, take that plan changing and being like, oh, we failed. We're taking it as we got a couple more steps we got to go. We got a couple more places we got to visit before we get here. I mean, that's kind of why we set up our plan. We got phases, of how we expect our company to go. And we're just entering phase 1, but that's not a failure on any part of mine, or any part of his. That's just...
Can't get to phase 5 without it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get to phase 5 without going through the steps, So, and, learning how to program, doing all the grinding and learning how to do better art, storytelling, all the creative work that he's put in. And also, can I expose you for a little bit here?
Chill. Okay, hold on. Chill. Go ahead.
It won't be too much. It won't be too much.
Hold on. Can I still show my face around here after you're done?
No, it won't be too much. I love this man with all of my heart.
It's a fact.
Sometimes, he needs to get some work done, and he be chilling. I love him. He be chilling. And you know, sometimes I just gotta keep coming up. I gotta remind him, hey man, we gotta make sure that we get this out by this time frame. We gotta make sure that we finish this by this time. You know, I mean, I'm never upset with him. I'm never like, you know, coming on to him like, yo, bro.
Always love.
But you know, I'm just like, hey man, just remember this guy get done. But when he start working, I'll give him his credit. He'll finish it faster than anybody. But
that's what's
you know, sometimes it just take a little nudge. But you know, even that's resilience.
I'm not trying to cover for my own ass or anything. In my defense, the creative process.
It takes time.
It takes a minute. And, you know, it's like, and that's another thing about resilience. You know, a lot of times people will look at it, and you're like, oh, he's just chilling, but inside your mind,
there's hella shit going on.
No, you're beating yourself up because you're wondering like, yo, why can't I figure this out? You're trying to piece together this, and you're like, yo, I'm gonna expose myself again. Shoot, like. I've written multiple stories, had multiple ideas. I did a whole little mini origin comic for a guild that we used to have in a game. And I'm not gonna lie, I read back over that guy like recently. I was like, damn, this is ass.
But that shit was so good when it came out. I'm not gonna lie.
Like there's times I've looked back and I'm like, whoa. That's crazy. I wrote that? No.
Yeah, man.
But like, I feel like when it comes to resilience on like the more creative side of things, is being able to identify that your first product isn't always going to be your best product. And you know, I'm the kind of person that, you know, when I put something down on paper, I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's the shit.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Like that. And that it takes a bigger kind of person to reevaluate, take that constructive criticism, be like, someone tell you, whoa, this is kind of garbage. And you know, it hurts more when it comes from people that are closest to you, because you're like, whoa, for real? It's garbage?
You're like, wait, what?
It's garbage?
Start hiding your tears.
Gotta wipe your eyes. Nah, but I mean, but you know, like for real, that it's kind of why, you know, I understand that creative process. You know, I never came for him in any kind of way because, you know, like I said, you never really know what's going on in the person's mind. But also, I mean, that's a different level of resilience. You know, a lot of people like to see it as, you know, coming straight on with whatever you're facing. You know, but it's not always being an immovable wall. You know, sometimes resilience is like looking at something and being like, all right, hold on, I got to be a little more lenient, or I got to, you know, I got to make some leeway. You know, because sometimes there's a force you really just can't get past at this moment.
It's like you trying to pass. You just gotta
you're trying to go straight forward.
That's
just gonna take you out. But you need to sometimes see that resilience and say, I can't take you out now, but I'm gonna come back around, and when I do,
hit you with that.
I'm gonna be on your ass.
I'm gonna hit you with that, right? Even more than that, like resilience is also like building yourself back up. You know, there are certain times. You know, we have this conversation a lot when we're just like late night drives to McDonald's at 2 a.m. Where we're like, there's times when people have to grow alone and times when people have to grow together. And you know, it's in those like, you know, oscillating times where, because you can't always just grow alone or grow together. Where you have to, sometimes you gotta tear yourself down to build yourself back up. You have to like start cutting away the things that are like, yo, this isn't really working for me. And you have to understand, like, is it not working for me because it's not working for me, or is it not working for me because it's not working for the people around me? And from when you start like taking those things and you start reconstructing who you are, it shows how resilient you can be. Because then you come back stronger. You know, it's like when you break a bone, it comes back stronger. You gotta suffer some pain if you want to get stronger. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Dang, man, that just like made me think about so much music that I've made, and I'm just like, I really thought it was it, and it was like,
like take a look back.
My girlfriend, I'm talking about, I've had times where like, I dropped some shit, she
had to tear you a new one over.
Like, wow.
That's the worst.
I was like, but you know what, I appreciate it so much, because it's like, then I know like, okay,
she real one for real.
Let me. She really down for real. Because you can't have those yes people around you all the time. Bro, that's hard.
You got someone that's gonna tell you, bro, I'm not gonna lie, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Yeah.
That's sometimes what you need.
Exactly. For real. So that's what's up. But out of that, Now I got some bangers on
Hey,
the low.
you got some bangers. I'm not gonna lie.
You really do.
When's the next one dropping? I'm confused.
Y'all need to listen to this man's music.
Facts. No.
Check that out.
Nah, word.
They gonna know. I ain't even tripping about it, bro. It's
Shameless self-plug. You
No,
know?
for real,
I'll plug him.
man, this is a great interview right now, man.
Bro.
Really appreciate y'all.
Nah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure. Like the stuff y'all doing, like that's another thing. The coding thing. I tried to learn how to code like
Bro.
a bunch of times. Like I did the.
It takes some attempts.
Yo, I did. This was summer after 11th grade. I did the Harvard summer school program.
Yeah, you
like,
didn't.
Yeah,
Bro,
I went to like a public, like one of the worst public schools in DC. I'm not even gonna say the name because like I don't even want to like.
You don't want to even say nothing about
You about
it.
to-
People probably know, but
Catch
like
smoke.
not saying like yeah, I don't want to catch no smoke. I love my high school, but like it wasn't the worst in terms of like just y'all know how the public education system work, bro.
Yeah.
Like there was schools on the other side of the city that are literally under the same fucking board and like getting way more funding than us.
For
and
sure.
stuff like-
Southwest to Arabia. Boy,
That's a fact. That's a
Man.
fact.
I was mad, but I feel that.
But yeah, like we didn't have certain shit. We would go to STEM conferences and see like all these other schools with robotics teams. They pulling out like shit. I'm like, oh,
They
bro.
looking shit out,
and we ain't
man.
got shit to show. And
Exactly.
we opened up as a STEM school. That's the crazy part. We ain't
Wow.
have shit
That's
STEM.
crazy.
Like we ain't have nothing STEM. So like I saw that I had to take further initiative, and like I had a network of like college prep people to like push me to go towards like actually figuring out like what the higher ranking schools were like, and so
Yeah.
I did that, and like I was with the professor who like apparently taught Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg when they were there, and like
Wow.
it was crazy. Cause like I'm like, okay, this should be good now. I should be able to like come. No, bro, that shit was hard, bro. And then I even got here, and still I'm like, okay, I experienced it. I got some exposure to it. Got here, shit was still hard. So I'm like, bro, that's just something that I can't. I gotta like, I would have to be on my own like learning that
Easy
shit.
peasy,
Cause
my
like
guy.
Yo,
the
bro.
pressures of having an exam and all that, I'm not even learning this shit. I'm just trying
Right.
to pass the exam.
I won't lie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I learned in the most unconventional way on how to learn programming. When I tell you I pull up YouTube tutorials on how to make, I'd be like this. How to make this kind of video game.
No,
Watch
Let me
my
tell
shit.
you.
I would
YouTube,
copy it
really?
down. I would,
Yeah.
do whatever, and then eventually it got to the point where I'm remembering it. I'm learning it.
Yeah.
Now I can go ahead and do whatever I want on my own.
I don't even know. One time I
It
came
worked.
into this man's house and I saw a 3-hour YouTube video queued up. I was like, dang, you watching documentaries? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Dope.
like even now, like now I'm going to school for computer science, so I'm in
Yeah.
the coding thing. I gotta alleviate some of the stress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, coding, bro.
He now understands my 4-year journey.
I was sitting there one time. I built a whole. I thought that this was an immaculate program to me. I was thinking I was proud of myself. I clicked that run button. Nothing happened. I called my professor over.
Watch that guy just said hello world.
Bruh, chill.
Oh my god.
Nah, I called my professor over. He's looking at it. He was like, oh yeah, by all means it should work. What? What you mean? Like,
Yeah, like this shit where it was probably like a comma,
Bro.
Literally, bro.
semicolon.
I used to be so mad, bro.
It could be anything. It's a small thing, man.
I had to rebuild my whole program. And I found out that it was a period.
Yeah.
I knew it, bro.
Not it wasn't even like in the middle. If it was in the middle, I'd be like, okay, I probably typed that
Yeah.
by mistake.
Yeah.
It was a period at the very end of the program. I'm sitting here looking at like, dang, why can't I? What's going on? What's the problem?
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
I'm staring at
You gotta
it
scan it.
Yeah,
line
man.
by line.
I remember doing that, man. I would like, I know that shit.
It's a time. It's a time.
It's a time.
I love it, but it's a time. It's not
Yeah.
for everybody. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm telling you.
But that's dope that y'all doing that. That like when I heard that y'all did video games, I was like, whoa, okay, code. That's all I heard. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm like, I
literally.
don't know who's doing it, but hats off to you, cause
Yeah,
like
bro.
we know how hard coding can be. So if you can code, like
Yeah.
you're resilient. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say that.
that's a fact.
That's a different world. So hats off
Hours,
to you.
man.
That's
Hours
what
of
kind
work.
of man can sit down in front of a computer screen and look
Hours.
at letters for hours.
Numbers.
I think I always told myself, because it's funny, because I originally got, like, I wanted to go into engineering, but mainly to invent stuff. Like, I always
Yeah.
wanted to invent shit when
Yeah.
I was younger. And, like, I just realized it wasn't practical for the real world. Like, anybody been to hire you, be like, okay, make the next big thing, and we'll pay
Can
you
I
a lot.
can I just make anything I want?
Yeah. So,
Let me tell you.
I really just chose film. I used to watch Cartoon Network all the time. Like, I just...
The
that's-
basis.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, I just want to do like dope shit. Like I want to do
Yeah.
So that's how I got into like film and like music and everything. So last but not least, is there anything you would like to say to anyone out there who wants to go far in life? And y'all can address the camera on this one so that people
for
could
sure.
just feel these words.
I'll let you go first, my guy.
All right. Well, for anybody that does want to go far in life, I mean, honestly, listen to all the things that we said in this previous interview, because we laid out a lot of things that really will make you successful. But if I had to touch on some key points, you know, remember, slow grind is not a bad grind. It's the better one.
That's a fact.
And resilience, making sure that when you realize you can't do something, not just giving up, finding a different way, getting creative, you know, solving your problems, building that structure around you, finding support. Even if you don't have support in your own family or your friend group, making sure that you find some group of people, something to get some support. Because working on your own, it's possible, but it's not the move all the time. And honestly, just do whatever makes you happy. Don't give into something just because it's practical. Don't give into something just because it'll make you a lot of money. If there's no substance, no happiness behind that, you know, you're not gonna find nothing. You're gonna get all this money, look back and be like, wow, I really spent years being a lawyer when I wanted to make some dope shit instead.
Exactly.
So, you know, even though I don't see a problem with pursuing both, make sure you're doing something in your life that's making you happy. You're working towards it, you're changing your plans when need be, but you're always striving forward and making sure that this is the way I want to do it, this is what I want to do, and that I'm building for longevity and not just for the now. And that's what I gotta say to go further.
I like that. He stole a lot of my words. But another thing just to touch up on, like, never be scared to double back, you know? A tactical retreat isn't surrender. Sometimes you gotta go back if you wanna go forward. 2 steps back, 8 steps forward sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But like just more on that, going far means, at least to me, seeing a path and not being scared to like take on all the struggles that come with that path. All the stipulations, all the, you know, the weird looks. Cause, you know, like I said, I had a really supportive family, but, you know, I'm still an immigrant. I'm still from Nigeria. You know, they wanted me to be, Mr. Doctor. You know, they wanted me to do all these things. And, you know, I know it came as a kind of culture shock to my family when I was like, yo, I don't want to do that. I want to do something more on this side. And, you know, along with that, don't be scared for stuff like that. You know, sometimes you gotta prove it to people for them to take it seriously. And lip service goes a long way, but it can't carry you the whole path. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta talk the talk before you can walk the walk, talk the talk. But make sure that you're making the steps to walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? Overall, going far, you know, sticking to something, pursuing it with mind, body, soul. Don't give up. And hey, wherever the path leads you, the journey is always great. The journey is always gonna be the best part, because let me tell you, when you up there and you're looking back like Thanos was, after that, after you snapped away all the competition, you're looking at your garden, you're like, you start just remembering, man, I did that, you know?
Yeah, that's probably the dopest comparison. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, man. Well, y'all can go ahead and drop them socials that y'all want to hit them with.
Go ahead.
Shameless plug time. Go ahead, check out our web novel. It just dropped on Royal Road. It's called Life Symphony.
Yep, that's royalroad.com, Life Symphony. And if you want to check out more of our content, then you can follow me, J_Corp21. And what do you want to go into, choice?
Me, _Eddy the Wave. That's EDDY.
The Wave.
The Wave.
You heard it here. We can go far with
For
foundation, awareness, and resilience. We'll see y'all next time.